What is it?
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Huh?
The stuff dreams are made of. Welcome to At the Movies. I'm Gus Mollasis, going solo tonight. I just got in from Detroit, Michigan, my hometown. Yesterday, I flew in, and boy, are my arms tired. I had to do the joke. We need a joke. We need a lot of jokes in today's day and age. Roxy was feeling a little under the weather, and she's going to do a show next week. We're doing a 9/11 show, tribute of the horrendous, tragic, terrible day when America was attacked. And we'll also have a lot to say about that next week with Roxy. Also, I want to send prayers and goodwill wishes to my buddy Mark Palmer, whose studio I'm sitting in. Without his friendship over the years, would not be able to be sitting here. And he's under the weather with the virus, and he's fighting it. And he's our prayers and are out to him. He's like a brother from another mother, and his whole family and I and everybody wishing him good tidings. And you can bet this Greek boy's going to be praying for my buddy Mark Palmer, who's as good as it gets. I just got back from Detroit, and I got home. I was there for about 12 days, saw my wonderful nephew, Stefan, who's graduated from high school, my middle nephew, Alexander, and Andrea, 3 beautiful boys. My sister did well, and my brother-in-law, Dragon, of course, my great mom. Lost my dad 21 years ago, just before 9/11. And I'll tell you one thing. I know he's watching from heaven, but I'm glad he's watching from those seats, the stuff that's happening today. It's not happy stuff. There's good people out there. There's young Daniel who's here, and Carrie who's working her tail off, and of course I mentioned Mark Palmer, and I met a lot of good people in this town when I came down here. But Detroit will always be home to me, and so it's great to be up there in my stomping grounds, and a city I root for, and a city that is a hard-working town. Okay, Detroit, Michigan is as hard-working town as ever existed. Without Detroit, Michigan, we don't win World War II. And I'm kind of really proud of that. Ford versus Ferrari, there's a great scene in that movie. The Deuce looks over at the plant and says, we fought other wars. It's just a great scene. He's talking about the Italians and the Germans. He said, we fought other wars. That's not what this show is going to be about. This is a show about some of my favorite movies that I love, love, love. Starring people who I don't really care for that much. I separate the great talent, and this is what I think you have to do when we're in this kind of political, polarized situation we live in. Alec Baldwin is a guy I absolutely think has got the acting chops extraordinaire. There's a film I'm going to cite, and because this is in honor of Labor Day, which is coming up Monday. And man, I dig hardworking people. My mate, Catherine Michelle Tanner, works as hard as anyone. Andrew Ford over at one of our sponsors, good buddy of mine, and I work over at Andrew's shop, Sarasota State Auction Trading Company. Mark Palmer. Hardworking people, man. You know what? Perspiration, it's 99% inspiration, 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. And those people represent that. But in honor of Labor Day, I wanted to the first clip is Glenn Ross. And I used to be in real estate, and I work with Michael Saunders. I work with Remax. I work with a lot of the great houses. And Michael told me, she says, Gussie, you got to be all in when you do something, when you love something. And I wasn't 100% in. I'm into my writing. I'm into my film, my teaching, etc. Glenn Ross is about some salesmen, some real estate salesman in Chicago, and it's just wonderfully. It's a David Mamet play. It is so solid. The Alec Baldwin part in this play developed into a film was created for the motion picture. What a cast! You have Al Pacino, you have Ed Harris, you have Alan Arkin, you have the great Kevin Spacey, and you have, of course, what's his name? I can't think of his name. I'll come up with it after the clip. Alec Baldwin, in kind of a 5-minute cameo. It's just a real wonderful thing. And a couple of my friends online sent in their remarks already. Third prize is you're fired. John Caragiulo, a great real estate guy in his own right, restaurateur as well. John is in North Carolina now. Doug Miles, second prize is a box of steak knives. Third prize is you're fired. He said, not a fan of Baldwin, but he nails this part. Let's take a look at 1992. This movie will be 30 years old next year. It's fabulous. It's about hardworking guys. Oh, I didn't mention Jack Lemmon. What a putz I am. Shelley Levine, put that coffee down. Coffee is for closers. Let's look at the great Glengarry Glen Ross from 1992.
And your name is your wanting, and you can't play in the man's game, you can't close them, then go home and tell your wife your troubles. Because only one thing counts in this life. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted. You hear me, you fucking faggots? A, B, C. A always B, B, C closing. Always be closing. Always be closing. AIDA. Attention, interest, decision, action. Attention. Do I have your attention? Interest. Are you interested? I know you are, because it's fuck or walk. You close or you hit the bricks. Decision. Have you made your decision for Christ? And action. AIDA. Get out there. You got the prospects coming in. You think they came in to get out of the rain? A guy don't walk on the lot lest he wants to buy. They're sitting out there waiting to give you their money. Are you gonna take it? Are you man enough to take it? Incredible. What's the problem, pal? You, Moss.
You're such a hero. You're so rich. How come you're coming down here and waste your time with such a bunch of bums?
You see this watch? You see this watch?
Yeah.
That watch costs more than your car. I made $970,000 last year. How much you make? You see, pal, that's who I am, and you're nothing. Nice guy? I don't give a shit. Good father? Fuck you. Go home and play with your kids. You want to work here? Close. You think this is abuse? You think this is abuse, you cocksucker? You can't take this. How can you take the abuse you get on a sit? You don't like it? Leave. I can go out there tonight. The materials you got make myself $15,000. Tonight, in 2 hours, can you? Can you? Go and do likewise. AIDA. Get mad, you son of a bitches. Get mad. You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass balls to sell real estate. Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you. You want to go out on those sits tonight and close, it's yours. Not, you're going to be shining my shoes.
AIDA. Have you made your decision? You know, that is so powerful. That's David Mamet at his height. James Foley directing that piece of, it's a masterpiece. You know, great actors, fabulous act. Jack Lemmon, put that coffee down. Shelley Levine, The Machine. You got Al Pacino, Ricky Roma. I mean, and then Baldwin comes in, and he just steals the show. And Kevin Spacey, who I met, and you know, again, this is the thing. You see the tragedy of a man like that, who, you know, again, I'm not gonna be the judge, jury, and executioner. Great actor. I separate that. I don't agree with his lifestyle. I'm not saying that. Fabulous actor. Alec Baldwin, fabulous actor. Politically, he's just too much for me. So I separate it. I still like his performance. That's where we have to get to. I love the film. I recommend it high, 4 stars. It's 100. Coffees for closers. You know, it's so good, so good. See it. See it with some real estate people at an open house. They'll get real nervous. A Bronx Tale. Robert De Niro is to me one of the top 10, 15 great American actors of the last 30, 40 years, easily. He's also someone I disagree with vehemently politically. The reason I say that is I can still look at his body of work and say, my God, I like Bobby D in The Godfather, too. I love him in Goodfellas. I love him in Raging Bull. This film is his directorial debut, which is a masterpiece. Also, 1992 is Glengarry Glen Ross. I'm going into the 90s. 1993 is A Bronx Tale. I hate wasted talent. So, you know, and I love the hustle of New York. I love the hustle of our country. I interviewed the gentleman who created the Coach bag, you know, the Coach, the bag that the ladies, if I can say that, in today's politically woke culture, they buy, and he's a multimillionaire. He has a house in Sarasota, has a penthouse in New York. And I said to him, Mr. Monda, what defines New York? He said, it's the hustle. The guy at the bottom floor, sweeping the street, to the guy in the penthouse. He's got a little bit of hustle. It's about chasing the American dream. This is about wasted talent. It's about a father-son relationship. Mr. De Niro has never been better. He directed this masterpiece. It really is. To me, it's my favorite De Niro film. That's really a strange thing to say when you have that body of all those other pieces of work. But this is all about him. He plays the bus driver father, and he's trying to give his dad something to look, you know, his son someone to look up to. Chaz Palminteri did this as a one-man show. Again, brilliant writing. Chaz is the mafioso. Bobby De Niro is the father. This is a great show to show the kids about heroes, role models, and wasted talent. Let's look at A Bronx Tale from 1993.
Black motherfuckers are doing to our car.
You leave the balls on these fucking niggas? Go and exit out slow?
Come on, let's go look.
Come on, get in the car. We're gonna go fuck them up.
Come on, get in the car.
Oh, Sonny and Jimmy. Oh, shit.
Come on, back up. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here.
What's going on, Sonny?
Ah! After you picked up my car, where did you go?
I drove around a little and then I went to go pick up Jane. Why?
Jane, was there really a Jane? Talk to me.
Sonny, what is it, Sonny?
After you dropped that car off, it didn't start. We lifted up the hood. There was something on the engine. It didn't go off. Now you tell me how the fuck that got on there. And where did you go in my car?
I remember I picked it up.
Yeah?
I drove right to the school and I locked both of the doors just like you told me.
Don't lie to me. Where did you go in my car?
Sonny, I didn't do anything. I swear, Sonny, please.
Don't fucking lie to me.
I didn't do anything. I swear, I just went right to the school and that was it. I swear to God, why would I want to hurt you? You've been like a father to me.
Hey! Delagero! What happened to my son?
Go drive your bus and get the fuck out of
Tell me, drive my bus.
Fuck that. Put your hands on me, I'll stick you in the fucking ground.
Next time, find out what's going on before you open your mouth.
That is a fabulous tale. It's a Bronx Tale. And, you know, the language is a little salty. And you know what? It has to be. You know, listen, I'm not for the woke generation, man. You know, there's words that are used. We had a salty word or two in the first script. But, man, David Mamet, he puts a word in there. He creates character with the words. That's why I never argue against Tarantino. There's a brilliant screenwriter. If there's an F-bomb or two that you have to take offense to, get into, you know, it's a real world. You have to do that. You can't paint that without. Sometimes I get I cringe myself at things, but you need that to make the point. There's one more actor that I absolutely adore. I think of him in the same vein as Jimmy Stewart. I love Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart was an American who was a war hero in the 1940s, went and flew missions over Germany, bombed the Nazis, the real Nazis, not the fake Nazis. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is today's Jimmy Stewart. Problem for me is, I mean, he's married to a Greek girl too, so I couldn't love him more for that reason. Now, I don't want to go into rumors and things and stuff and blah, blah, blah. I don't like to be preached by the politics of someone. Now, when I do my show, I don't talk politics until someone talks politics with me on another show that I do or books that I write. I come out. But Tom Cruise, fine, he's on the opposite side. I don't care. He's not as boisterous as Bobby D or Alec Baldwin, who go Twitter crazy. But I can separate because I love this man. I love his body of work. Who could not love, my God, Forrest Gump? Who could not love, I love Castaway. You talk about a hidden gem to, Toy Story to just everything that he's done pretty much has been golden. Even from his days on TV, Bosom Buddies, you knew he was going to be a star. Seems like a real nice guy. I love this film, Philadelphia. He won back-to-back Oscars for this. The only other cat that did that was the great Spencer Tracy. This is 1993. This is Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, Jason Robards. It is about acceptance and tolerance, and that's something I want to preach today. It's also about being able to work. That's, again, the reason why I'm playing this for Labor Day. Being able to work in your environment, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're whatever on the LGBTQ scale, or if you're Greek Orthodox, if you don't believe in God, or if you don't want to get the vaccine, or you got the vaccine. There's more on that later. But this man here, Philadelphia, fabulous film. Take a look.
Highline Incorporated is now represented by Wyant, Wheeler, Hellerman, Tetlow, and Brown, and more specifically, Andrew Beckett.
Yes! Bravo!
I sincerely appreciate your faith in my abilities.
Mr. Beckett! How are you? What happened to your face?
I have AIDS.
Oh.
I'm seeking representation.
You want to sue Wyant, Wheeler, Hellerman, Tetlow, and Brown?
I was diagnosed with AIDS 8 months ago during a bout with pneumonia. What's that in your forehead, pal?
Andy, everyone in this room is your friend.
I misplaced an important complaint. That's their story.
We've been talking it over, your future, that is, and we feel that because we respect you so much, we must be honest with you.
Excuse me. Am I being fired?
Would you accept a client if you were constantly thinking, I don't want this person to touch me?
I have a case.
I don't want them to even breathe on me.
You don't want it for personal reasons.
Thank you, that's correct, I don't.
That's very disappointing.
Sir, wouldn't you be more comfortable in a research room?
No. Would it make you more comfortable?
Beckett, how you doing?
Counselor.
Did you find a lawyer?
There's going to be things said at the trial that are going to be hard for you to hear.
I want to know everything about his personal life. What deviant groups did he secretly belong to?
I didn't raise my kids to sit in the back of the bus.
Is Andrew Beckett the kind of lawyer who misplaces crucial documents?
An excellent lawyer.
Andrew Beckett is dying.
You were impressed with Andrew Beckett's work.
Andrew Beckett is angry.
What powerful force has caused him to change his mind?
And he wants someone to pay.
TriStar Pictures presents...
The law's been broken.
I just want what is fair, what is right.
You remember the law, don't you?
A Jonathan Demme picture.
So let's talk about what this case is really all about.
Did you fire Andrew Beckett because he had AIDS?
The general public's hatred, our loathing, our fear.
In this courtroom, Mr. Miller, justice is blind to matters of sexual orientation.
We don't live in this courtroom, don't do it.
Tom Hanks.
I love the law.
Denzel Washington.
Are you gay?
Objection!
In a story about our lives.
Oh, Mom, today's a good day.
Our fears.
Andy brought AIDS into our offices.
And our humanity.
I hate this case.
Philadelphia.
How many lawyers you go to before you call me?
9.
That's The Fabulous Philadelphia. What a great, great film. Please see it. Acceptance, man. It's all about, man, letting people love who they want to love. Let them work where they want to work. You know what I'm saying? It's such a great Philadelphia, Greek word. I love it, man. City of brotherly love. Just that film means a lot to me because as COVID was happening, it was the last film I played at Lombo Key Education Center. And things haven't been the same since in terms of the Zoom and the whole thing. And I have a lot more to say on that on some other platforms and shows. I want you, speaking of which, please share this, like this on Facebook. I'm also going to be on YouTube. There's going to be a YouTube. We're going to have a big, big, big commitment to that and some other platforms. We kind of got a skeleton crew tonight. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, I've done these shows. I've done 250 of these shows. I did 250 shows with Comcast. Coming back stronger, as is America after all this stuff, as is my buddy Mark Palmer. After coming back from Detroit, though, after all the stuff, all the good, the bad, and the ugly, Clint Eastwood reference, man. I love Sergio Leone's spaghetti Western films. I watched a spaghetti Western with my mom. I still don't know the title of it. If you guys know the title of it, it's with James Colburn and Rod Steiger. And if you guys send in, I'm going to get you a gift certificate to my buddy Caragiulo's down there at either Caragiulo's or Owens Fish Camp. They're great friends of ours, great friends of Andrew Ford over at Sarasota Trading Company at Sarasota State Auction, which has a fabulous auction coming up September 18th and 19th. Everyone will be there. James Lathrop, Pippa, Mia, Jay, the whole crew, Charles, Kay. I'm mentioning everybody because it takes a village to put on a, see how talented I am? I did a Hillary Clinton reference. Takes a village. Not a big fan of hers. She's not a big fan of mine. Prince of Tides. I'm a big fan of Barbara Streisand. Even though Barbara is probably not a fan of my political persuasions, I recognize the talent. She is a great therapist in this movie, Prince of Tides. And after being in Detroit for a while, I think I need therapy. That's from my family, who I dearly love. My sister is a great therapist. That's why I'm mentioning that. And I believe in good therapy. Therapy can help. Nick Nolte is in this film, 1991. It is a beautiful film. It is about you just falling in love. You can fall in love with your therapist and the good that they do. And she's so solid in this, and he is. And Nick Nolte is somebody that my friend Jeffrey Lynch and I want to cast. We want to cast him because he's just dynamite. In a series we're doing called The Troubadour, based on a screenplay and a movie soon to be released next year. Prince of Tide, 1991. The great Nick Nolte, the great Barbara Streisand. See, there I said it, Babs. Let's go to that clip.
Sick and tired of you. Never showing me any respect in my own house.
There are families who live out their entire lives without a single thing of interest happening to them. I've always envied those families.
From one of the best-loved novels of our time, Columbia Pictures presents Barbara Streisand.
What's your first name?
My patients call me Dr. Lowenstein.
But I'm not your patient.
Nick Nolte.
Oh, I was a courteous Southern boy. Did what he was told. Responsible, normal, dull.
I don't know what normal is, and you're anything but dull.
In a story about the memories that haunt us and the truth that sets us free. The Prince of Tides. Coming soon.
Yeah, that's a great film. It's about healing and getting therapy and feeling better, and that's what we all want people to do who are going through all this crisis of the COVID-19. Just a tough time for people. Also, my heart goes out to the people on the Eastern Seaboard who have suffered through flooding. New York City, man, they've been through a lot the last 20 years. 9/11, And of course, COVID was extremely hard on them. And then this thing now, you're seeing subways flooded and areas, and people saying dozens of people have been killed by this flooding. In this time of, man, people taking words so seriously and getting offended, man, just got to turn the other cheek and laugh a little bit. That's why I'm not a big fan of the woke culture. Woody Allen has effectively been canceled in today's society. I don't know what he did or didn't do. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I love his films. The film I love the most, put it right at the top of my list, is Manhattan, George Gershwin. Let's take a look at the great Woody Allen, 1979, a masterpiece, one of the great filmmakers of all time. Whether you like him or not, or, you know, that's, I put him on the side. Fabulous film, Manhattan, 1979.
Chapter 1. He adored New York City. He idolized it all out of proportion. No, make that, he romanticized it all out of proportion. Better. To him, no matter what the season was, this was still a town that existed in black and white and pulsated to the great tunes of George Gershwin. Now, let me start this over. Chapter 1. He was too romantic about Manhattan, as he was about everything else. He thrived on the hustle-bustle of the crowds and the traffic. To him, New York meant beautiful women and street-smart guys who seemed to know all the angles. No, corny, too corny for a man of my taste. Let me try and make it more profound. Chapter 1. He adored New York City. To him, it was a metaphor for the decay of contemporary culture. The same lack of individual integrity that caused so many people to take the easy way out was rapidly turning the town of his dreams and... No, it's going to be too preachy. I mean, you know, let's face it, I want to sell some books here. Chapter 1. He adored New York City, although to him it was a metaphor for the decay of contemporary culture. How hard it was to exist in a society desensitized by drugs, loud music, television, crime, garbage. Too angry. I don't want to be angry. Chapter 1. He was as tough and romantic as the city he loved. Behind his black-rimmed glasses was the coiled sexual power of a jungle cat. Oh, I love this. New York was his town, and it always would be.
Talking to me? Talking to my buddy Danny, who's got a taxi driver. You know, there's a film that is a tough film, Taxi Driver. Speaking of New York, I love, you know, one of my favorite things in the world to do is ride in a New York City taxi and talk to the cab drivers. I just love talking to Pranav and Baruch. I remember I was there 20 years ago. It was 9/11. Right after 9/11, I was there. God, it was 6 weeks right after, and I had to come with my camera. My buddy Mark knows how much I love documentary filmmaking. Also, my buddy Mark Reese. I haven't talked to him in a while. I'm really sad about that. Mark, if you're watching the show, I love you. It's all about, man, it's about forgiveness. It's about love at the end of the day. Getting through this thing and being frank and being honest and ironing the differences in the world. And 9/11, that wasn't the case. People came over, they killed innocent people, and I'm really sad of how this whole Afghanistan thing happened in the last couple of weeks, how it ended. Not that it ended. At some point, they needed to be out of there because, as Eisenhower said, the industrial military complex can't be led around by the nose with that and have young boys getting killed and treasure and et cetera. But 9/11, man, this country was a lot closer, was a lot tighter. There wasn't the bickering. And I have a lot more to say on them in the upcoming days, but I want to leave you with a film from that time, from 2006, not too far after 9/11. They made a movie called United 93 in honor of them. And next week we're really going to do it. We're going to do a 20-year anniversary show on that time. Might even have a clip of my movie, The Edge, that I made. But this is United 93 when the American Patriots, they took that plane down so that it wouldn't be flown into the White House or the Capitol. They say that's where it was going to go. Guys, man, if you can work and you can love. I think it was a psychologist who said that in honor of my wonderful therapist sister. Said, he said, if you can work and love, you can have a normal life and a good life. And I add one more thing. Man, if you got to have a belief in a higher power, and you got to love people out there. And United 93, take a look at this clip. We're going to end the show. This is Happy Labor Day. Take the day off. Relax a little bit. Have some fun. Love your family. And it's good to be back in Sarasota. I miss my family in Detroit. You know who you are. Like and share. I want to thank all my sponsors for the show tonight. And we'll see you guys next week at the movies with a tribute to 9/11. Take care.
You said something about everybody stay in your seats.
We got Delta 1989 suspected hijack heading west.
Why are those planes off course?
They heard something that there might be intrusion into the cockpit.
How many have I got here going now?
4,200.
4,200.
4,200.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Did you see that, sir?
United 93, you hear Cleveland Center.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
I think we got another one.
Hijacking in progress.
Sir, I'm losing you.
Hijacking in progress.
Just keep your planes away from him, man. I have no idea what this guy's doing. One of those guys is in the country.
Quiet!
What do you got?
We have a plane headed toward the Capitol.
Somebody said the two planes hit the World Trade Center.
This aircraft is going down, I'm telling you right now.
There was an explosion at the Pentagon.
One of these planes, it's not a bomb.
That's 3 planes crashed in the building. They're not going to take us back to New York.
Not good.
Did we shoot this flight down?
The president has to make the call. If we want to do something, we have to do it now. Because we know what happens if we just sit here and do nothing.
A bunch of the guys got together and they said that we're gonna try and take over the plane. Hi, Mom, it's me. This really kind woman handed me the phone.
United 93, you hear Cleveland Center.
We are alone up here. Nobody's gonna help us.
You can fly this plane?
I don't know. I mean, I'll try.
Go after me, but you go fast. Okay?
Ah!
United 93, United 93, Cleveland. United 93, United 93, you hear Cleveland Center.